CT Sports Talent Show. My name is Christopher Saunders, and this is part two of our top girls performers of the week as far as for girls basketball. And I've got from the Simsbury Trojans, Amanda Gallagher with me. She is a senior, and I mean, she's done it all 23 points per game, made 11 threes, killing it on the assists, the blocks, the rebounds, the whole nine. Amanda, I appreciate you coming on.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Before we get into this season, I always like to ask, as far as prior to the season, either how you got into the game or more so how you prepared for the season. And I'd like to know, as far as before the season started, because you were just telling me, and it's awesome to be able to have the conversations before we start the interview. Graduating eight seniors is huge, right? When I played soccer back in the day, we graduated 14 seniors, and it's like night and day as far as seeing what was a fully functioned team to now it's like, okay, now you got all brand new people, and now what you were at the time, the up and comer, now you're the leader. So with what you had coming back this year, it had to be quite an adjustment to go from being behind those seniors to now you are the senior, they're looking at you, and you're the leader.
Yeah, it's definitely a big change. I mean, with eight seniors, it was a lot. They showed a lot of leadership, and now we're stepping into that spot and we have to show that same leadership. It's different because we have some freshmen on our team, and I mean, they stepped up completely and taken on their roles in their new spots.
Were you able to, and I don't know if you were thinking about it because obviously during the present, it's the season, playoffs, the whole nine. Then after the season, you can reflect. Were you able to have discussions with the seniors about, hey, when you guys are gone, I mean, are there certain things that I need to do to carry on the tradition? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, we were a really close knit group, and we would have conversations every day. And I think just something they really enforced and thought was important to our team was just having trust in each other and our abilities on the court and as a group.
Would another thing to be, because I know communication in all sports is huge. I know basketball specifically because of it only being obviously a small gym or case of Mohegan, a little bit bigger, but still the fact of being able to make sure that you can trust, if you're a point guard, making sure, okay, who's cutting, who's going to be in the corners, having that vision and such. The communication side, how important is that as well?
It's huge. I mean, right now we have proven to have great communication on the court. We have, I think, some great chemistry too, which is really, really important for us. I mean, going like backdoor cuts, you have to know those things or else they can lead to turnovers, which obviously you don't want. So I think that as of right now, our communication and chemistry on the court has led to success.
Now, what were the conversations like with Coach Zulo and the staff as far as kind of what the expectations were for you? And I think you mentioned one other senior as well. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So with that, what were the conversations like?
Well, we have three captains, which is me, Olivia Jarvis, and my sister Alexa Gallagher. And we we talk often with coaching staff about how to like incorporate everyone on the court and just be team leaders, picking each other up on the court, encouraging everyone, and just overall like modeling good sportsmanship, good playing, I guess, and just like leading the younger players in that way.
How cool is it playing with your sister?
It's so cool. It's such a great experience, and I'm so excited to have that opportunity for my senior year.
Now, is she a junior or is she
Yes.
junior? Okay. So
Hmm.
that means you've been on the team with her since she was a freshman, correct?
Yeah.
So going through that, I mean, it's only fitting that you can try to get to that final game and it being at Mohegan to be able to hopefully celebrate a moment. I mean, have you been able to, I'm sure you've talked about that with your sister, right?
For sure. It is, I mean, it's a huge goal for our team. We To put it simply, we want to be state champions this year, and I think specifically about my sister, it's been so cool to watch her improve throughout the years, and I think that would be like the cherry on top of the cake if we could win a state championship together.
Is there any, and I'm sure there's competitiveness in the game, right? Because obviously you want to help the team, but at the same time, having your sister next to you is always like, okay, well, I want to do a little bit better than the other sister. Is there ever that kind of competition, or is it no, you keep that side, in the backyard when you're playing against each other during the off season, but when it's putting on the Trojan uniform, okay, now it's the team aspect. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes total sense. I mean, in the backyard, there's definitely some competitiveness, but for 100%, when we put on our Trojan uniform, we're rooting for each other, we're helping each other. There's nothing, no competitiveness on the court besides towards the other team.
I want to look at these previous games that you had, hence why you're here. I mean, you're putting up, obviously you were all state last year. You don't get that without doing some pretty good stuff on the court, in my opinion. Um, and being able to replicate that, and I know it's early, but you're putting up better numbers than you did last year as an all-stater. So and that kind of goes to the point of like being able to be in the season and not being able to reflect because it's like, you have that prism effect, game, practice, like you're not even thinking about that. So have you been able to kind of sit back for a second and go, wow, I'm doing some pretty good things early on. Like have you been like have you thought about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty early in the season, and I first two games I was hot, but we have a a bunch more games to go, and I think that I still need to stay focused and look at the bigger picture and helping my team win the state title.
Now, with the seniors that graduated, and obviously what you have been doing, I would think if it hasn't happened already, the main focus is going to be okay, anytime Simsbury's coming to town or we're going there, the focus is going to be on you, right? You're going to get, and I don't know if you watch a lot of football, you're going to get bracketed. You're going to be the main focus. They're going to make sure you do absolutely nothing. So, has that been discussed? I'm sure it has, but if you can share anything, how you're going to be able to handle that, because I would think as a player, again, I was never at the talent level to be bracketed, to be focused on, right? It's a compliment to you, but it's also like, darn, like I want to be able to do more, but I can't do as much, but maybe I can have my teammates like basically the teammates get better because the focus is on me. Does that make sense?
Yes. Well, I think Coach Zulo does a great job. We have tons of plays that some are specific for that reason, but I also think that we have four other great players on the court who can do so much. OJ, Alexa, I mean, everyone on the team really, they can step up. I
Mm.
mean, there's so much they can do. And I mean, I even if they face guard or whatever take me away, there's we will have no problem. And we're prepared for that too. So
Is there any play? Now you don't have to give away what the play is, but is there any play that's like it's got a funny name or maybe, it's got a funny term or anything like that? Because I've heard some pretty funny plays for football, right? And obviously that goes because there's so many signals and such. And I see them and they're hilarious. Basketball, I don't hear it as much, but is there any funny ones that you can share?
um I mean, our play names are pretty standard, I'd say, but we do have some trick plays up our sleeve, in case we need a basket at
Okay.
the moment. Yeah.
Would one of them be like Trojan, like the mascot, or no?
Um, no, we don't have one named Trojans.
Okay, maybe Zulo can maybe kind of make that. Maybe it could be,
Yeah,
added to the repertoire, right? Why not?
exactly.
So being a part of the CCC is such a competitive conference, right? I mean, it's a gauntlet. I mean, for boys basketball, And I wish girls basketball got more recognition. I hope this is another year of it continuing to grow, right? Because it's such a beautiful game on the boys' side and on the girls' side. There's just, I mean, the game I did on Monday, the Mercy Holy Cross game, I thought I was watching a football game. There was not, I don't want to say tackling, but there was a lot of fighting for the ball. There was not pushing and shoving, but it was a very, very aggressive game. But it was cool to see that because I think the stigma is, oh, girls basketball, they just do a lot of this and that. And no, they ball. They're aggressive. So being a part of the CCC, there's so many good teams. And I would think being a part of that helps prepare you if you want to have, like you mentioned, a state title, get to Mohegan, make a deep run in your tournament and in the state tournament. Talk to me about that if you can.
Yeah. As you said, the CCC is so competitive and there's so many great teams. Um, I think a big part that helps us like go on those deep runs in the state tournament and the CCC tournament is that we play those teams regularly in our regular season schedule. So that's super helpful. Um, Also, I mean, we go to New York twice in our schedule to play super good teams as well. So that definitely gives us an upper hand when competing in the tournaments.
And Coach Zulo has told me that those New York trips are obviously awesome because of the competition, but it gives such a I can't think of the word, but I guess a future look, right? As far as what the team could look like, because not to say the teams in Connecticut are not good, they are. But in New York, you're playing at another level, right? And those teams, depending on how you do, can help project you as far as what you're going to do against future teams like the Conards, the Northwest Catholics, East Catholics, and so on and so forth. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it definitely presents a different viewpoint on our team because up there the schools are bigger, the girls are bigger. It's just a different animal. So it I mean when we go over Christmas break, it's going to give us a good look into how good we really are.
Now, before I let you go, Amanda, and I appreciate you coming on. This has been a lot of fun. I do know that you're going to RPI, playing basketball at the next level. That's awesome. Congratulations for you. Um, have you been able to kind of, obviously, you're not thinking about that right now because of the season, but has it creeped into your mind like, this is my last first game? This will be my last trip up to New York. This will be the last time, albeit I have not been a part of senior night. Well, now I'm going to be a part of it. This could be my last a lot of things, which stinks in ways, but it's also something that you've earned and it's a beautiful thing. Have you thought about that at all?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think it's really hard not to when you're a senior in high school. But I'm just trying to stay in the moment and savor the moment and just enjoy my time with playing with my sister and my best friend.
Amanda, I appreciate you coming on. Congratulations on being the top performer of the week. Best of luck. And as Coach Zulo said, you're a killer in a good way. You're excellent on the court. Keep doing what you're doing, and best of luck as far as the rest of the season and at RPI.
Thank you so much.
Always. Wrap things up in the CT Sports Talent Show. So until next time, stay safe. Remember, CT stands for Connected Talent. I'm Dre. Find them all. To the should everybody, and be well.